base 1, base 2, volume breakout, and a pullback. When I saw this exact pattern in Solana, it led to a 50% gain. And right now I'm seeing these identical setups in 3 of the top 5 cryptocurrencies. Let me be clear. I personally don't believe in crypto, and I think that all of it is questionable and a waste of resources. But for technical traders who understand risks, these patterns are too clear to ignore. Since I don't believe in cryptocurrencies, I only focus on the top 5 cryptocurrencies where the risk of getting completely wiped out is much lower. In this video, I'll walk you through Bitcoin's technical structure, Solana's breakout pattern, and its 50% historical moves and how you can profit from it, and XRP's volume signals and multi-month base formations, which you can profit from. And the most important, I'll be showing you the exact entry points to look for, where to buy, sell, and put your stops. I have a special trick on how you can actually make a very big return. I'll show you the same exact technical patterns and volume dryer patterns that have led significant moves in the past. And if you're serious about learning these patterns, make sure to grab my free investing strategy guide from the link in the description when you sign up for the Profit Punch newsletter. First, we'll look at Bitcoin and how to profit from it. We can see here on the daily chart, we already have entry point, which I let out subscribers, where they put their stop. I hope they have moved their stop up in case it comes down, but currently they're up 40% on that position. But if we go to the weekly chart, what are we seeing? What we like to see is that whenever we see a multi-month breakout, which is what we're having here, what we can expect is a very huge move from this. The last multi-month breakout we had was this flat base over here. We can see a base on the base, and it went up 130%. We only trust the first 2 bases. This is base 1, this was base 2, and then you can see that. But it was not going to all-time highs. When stocks are not at all-time highs, there are huge sellers waiting to stop the stock, which is what happened here. But here we see a very huge multi-month correction, cup and handle, very tight weekly action, and then it breaks out. And then I issued a buy order here for people who subscribe to the newsletter. It breaks out on volume, 54% move. And right now it is forming a second base, which I think is also a very good point to add as an investor or a swing trader, because base 1 and base 2 are the most trustworthy bases to buy from. And you can see what happened last time when it went to all-time highs, something very similar. You see, from this huge multi-month consolidation, there's this pullback, and then it went up 600%. Now, of course, this time I don't know how long it's going to go up, but we just know that after these huge multi-month consolidations, the move is always very huge. And before that, it did around 4,000%. You see, this was all-time highs, did this multi-month move. I show you all your adding points and how you could have profited from this crazy move on Bitcoin. Here we have another opportunity. So we go to the daily chart to see exactly what we're looking for. The way you make big money actually is to get in at the right time, like here. And after that, you want to be doubling your position here, because now you already have profit to play with, and then you can use this kind of like 40% cushion to buy more shares. And once it goes up, you make a huge amount of money. For example, if you put in 10,000 here and it goes to 120,000, maybe you've made 100%. That's only 10K profit. But what happens is that if you put in 10K here, it moves here, you have your profit, and then you use that to buy another 10K. Once it goes up another 50%, then you get maybe this 5K profit plus a 10K, and then you've made 15K instead of making just 10K. That's how you make very huge money. You keep piling up on those bases as an investor. So here we see something very beautiful. We see support, very easy to see, of course. And then we see something called a shakeout. This is a very good signal. Whenever you see these shakeouts, you just know that someone is trying to push the price down to scare out other people. So we see this shakeout, it's a very good sign. We can see very tight price action here. From the shakeout, goes up on volume. That's a very good sign. I actually added to my position here. I'm not holding Bitcoin itself. I'm going to show you what I'm holding to get this move. And then we can see it forming a cheat here. And once it forms this cheat and breaks out again on its cheat, then I'm going to be issuing another buy alert for people in the newsletter. Make sure you're signed up to the premium version. I have 40% off for the first time so that you can see how it works. But I don't want you to miss these very big moves, because these moves don't happen a lot, maybe once or twice a year. This is where the big money is made. Yeah, so it's kind of forming its cheat here. And then once it breaks out again, I'm going to double my position. That's a very good sign. What am I holding to actually profit from this? I'm holding 2 things. BITX. One thing I learned is that whenever cryptos or any industry breaks out from a big multi-month base, The 2 times ETF actually moves way much faster for that big run. It's not a safe thing to hold, but for that multi-month base, I feel safe holding a 2 times ETF. And why is that? So you can see last time, Bitcoin, as we saw, did 170%. If you look at the weekly chart, I'll show you here. Weekly chart, Bitcoin did 130% for this breakout here. But let's look at what happened in the 2 times ETF. The 2 times ETF did 400%. So that's what I normally do. But these 2 times ETFs are very risky. So if you're holding them, you need guidance if you're not very used to them. If you don't, just hold the normal Bitcoin itself. Or you can get Beta, which is a ×1 ETF. That's totally okay. You can see this one already is also up maybe like 32%, and it also has dividends. That's great. This was a recommendation, so people profited from that, from the newsletter. I even forgot about it. But yeah, BITX is what I was holding. I got in here on 32, so I remember I'm already up about 100%. And then I doubled my position here on $56 because this was a checkout on Bitcoin. Another thing that is also a good hold is MSTR, because MicroStrategy is holding Bitcoin, so we can see what's happening. We can see something like a zigzag here. Okay, that's okay. We don't see like a checkout or anything, so we are kind of skeptical. What happens next is what is interesting. There's a cheat here, and as soon as it goes up on this cheat, I bought. Stop is around here, 298, because we're just waiting for a break of structure. I think what's going to happen is that it might form another cheat, and then that's also a very good time to pile in. I'll be updating people in the newsletter. That's how you can profit from this Bitcoin move. There are also other stocks. I'm holding Coin as well, Coinbase, but the technical structure is not looking as good as MicroStrategy. That's why I'm not recommending it right now. Let's go to the next one, which is Solana. This is my second choice. Now, Solana was quite interesting, and it kind of disappointed me, but at the same time, I loved its technical setup. So let's see what happened here. We see this multi-month base, and we see a breakout on volume. We see all these checkouts. That's a good sign. Breaks out on volume and returns to the entry. 50% of the time, these breakouts will return to the entry. Right? This was actually quite normal, but I know a lot of people must have sold here because maybe they got scared, but this is quite normal as an investor. You just know that whenever it breaks out, sometimes it's going to return. I personally like to get it immediately, and I'll hold through this returning. This is actually a very good time to add to your position. And I personally don't have a crypto wallet, and I don't know any ETF that has Solana, so I don't really trade this thing, but it's the second option for those who have crypto wallets. And it's going to all-time highs. That's a wonderful sign. Right? And then we can see this very huge volume. Whenever I see this huge volume, just know a big dog has come in. There's a big whale out there that bought up this thing, and you can only expect it to go up. You can see in the past what happened on those very big volumes. You see this multi-month consolidation. The thing went up what? 71,000%. That's crazy. I don't know if it can do that again. From here, you see this huge consolidation. That's why I don't want you to miss these big moves. They don't happen so often. You see, we only get like maybe once a year. That's why this video is very important. Oops, let's see what happened. Went up 900%. You see how this thing was quite a ripper. Let's go into the daily chart, see what I saw that I really liked. All of these details are in the resources page when you sign up for the newsletter. Everything of this is there, but I just want to show you. We have this huge breakout. Nice. Returns to entry. This is expected. And then it does this checkout. You see, so it comes here, forms kind of like this zigzag pattern, which is a technical pattern, and then it checks out this low. That's a very good sign. As soon as you saw this checkout, has returned to entry, this was a good time to add to your position. Now, of course, here, since it was a checkout, I would have put my stop here on 18%. But then you can see what happened after. So 64% move from there. But of course, as a long-term holder, I'll just wait for this thing to kind of like do whatever it's doing up here, wait for a kind of like another nice setup, which is going to happen, I think. P is actually my top choice. Bitcoin is number 3, which is on which I trade. Solana is number 2. XRP is nice. I already made a video on XRP, and I was telling people here when it was around here, 142. I told people, hey, guys, please get it. But I don't know if people watched the video. Only about 100 people watched. I hope they've made profit from this 30% move, and they're kind of like looking to add to their positions. So we see this very huge multi-month breakout as well. You see this accumulation over time. Thing was forgotten about. Breaks out to all-time highs. We like to see that. I feel like I'm repeating myself. These things just happen all over and over again. That's the problem, right? All-time highs, multi-month breakouts. Only trust base 1 and base 2. Hold for the ride. You're only going to get about 2 to 3 opportunities per year. So maybe in crypto, you'll get 1 or 2 opportunities this year for these really big moves. Of course, for a string trader, you might get more. Once those opportunities are out, you can go to commodities, you can go to stocks. Look for these opportunities, man. They are out there, they are out there. And that's the goal of the newsletter, to bring these opportunities to you guys. Because the fact is that sometimes I see these things, like I'm not buying XRP, I'm not buying Solana, but I can see it, I cannot deny it. So I'll recommend it for those that are really into crypto, but I am not into that thing. That's why I stick to my BITX. Yeah. You see, so we have our mini cap and handle. This is now base 2. We trust base 1 and base 2. They're the most trustworthy. This is now the daily chart. Then we see this shake out. It's trying to shake out people. Those weak holders, once they see these deep moves, they will get scared. Because an investor already bought here at a market cap of 39, they're not going to get so scared. But for people who had bought here, this deep dive down was a 25% reduction in their account. So they got flushed out. And this is where the big players start to accumulate. Whenever you see this spikes down and it starts to set up again, forms this cap and handle, forms this chit, volume has dried up, breaks out of that chit, could have bought here, could have put your stop here, recommended it again in my newsletter. When it was breaking out, I told people, hey man, just get in there. I was a bit late, right, as you can see, because the good price would have been here around 145 billion market cap, but for such very big breakouts, I feel like there's bigger leeway for long-term holders. That breaks out, it's kind of correcting, and then we're just going to wait and see what happens. Is it going to come and hit our stop? I don't really think it's going to happen. But if it does, you're well protected with your stop loss. You're not going to get rug pulled. But it could go up and rip because it's at all-time highs. The theme is right. Everybody's into crypto. I don't know why this is the case. I really think this is a huge bubble. But speculators, we can still enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found value, subscribe to the channel, of course. Hit the like button. Put some comments to help the algorithm. I really appreciate all of that because it takes a lot of effort to put these videos out. Every recommendation will be in the newsletter. I don't want you guys to miss out on these opportunities. Thank you. May the markets be with you.